What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Section 13. If this game looks familiar, that's because it is familiar to you. I played this game under a different name maybe like a year ago. I actually am not too sure on the timeline right there, but I played this game probably about a year ago, and it used to be called Blackout Protocol. Blackout Protocol was a team-based tactical sort of roguelite-y shooter where everybody was trying to put together a build in a three-man team as you dive down into a government facility, fighting a ton of zombies and enemy agents and eldritch horrors and things of that nature. I guess the game must not have done very well because they're rebranding it now. They've changed the name of the game, they've changed all the key art, and now they're basically converting all of that old content into a single-player roguelite for one player that's got basically the same gameplay. So the goal is still to dive down into government facility, find nether cubes. These nether cubes will cause cards to spawn. These cards are effectively your level ups or your builds. You're trying to make the most effective build possible in between your cards and your gun upgrades, which are also kind of random, in order to keep yourself alive and avoid becoming a zombie snack for as long as possible. We're going to take a look at this rebrand today. If you're anything like me where you're in the gaming space a lot, I've become very fearful of words like refactor, going back to basics, rebranding, that kind of stuff. And so I think it's worth another look just to see if what the game is pivoting into is worth it compared to what the game previously was. But on the front end, what I'll tell you is I will refer to this version of the game that I'm playing right now, the rebranded version, as Section 13, and I will refer to the previous version of the game, which was a Left 4 Dead style team tactical shooter. I will refer to that as Blackout Protocol so as to keep it as distinct as humanly possible between the two different projects. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, this demo is publicly available. They released it, I think, just sort of like ease a little bit of the unease about the game rebranding and changing on around. As I understand it, they're still planning on leaving the co-op version of the game inside, but it's not integrated into the demo for right now because I guess they've got to rework some things in order to make it work. But the link to the demo is down below. You can check that out there. You can also find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream just in case you wanted to hang out live. I still stream once or twice a week here and there just in case you wanted to get your thoughts across the board. But for now, let's dive on into some Section 13. So as previously mentioned, Section 13, you are a rookie government agent for an X-Files style bureau that's trying to get down into a government facility that was lost a long time ago and recover data from there so that we can parse that data and figure out what went wrong in this area. Along the way, you're going to be picking up upgrades from these little nether cubes. So for example, the one that I just picked up is a very, very good one. It allows me to use my special ability, which is on my Q button. My Q button, it makes me fire faster and reload faster, I think. It might also make me more accurate, but I'd have to look at the tooltip. But now that I took that perk, every single time that I fire my gun while I'm inside the aura of my ability, I'll spawn doppelgangers all over the place that are also firing guns at the enemy, which is pretty fantastic stuff. And that's really what the game is going for. They're going for sort of that run-based Risk of Rain. I don't know if I can even call it. There's an encrypted security device. Enter a passcode to unlock. All right, I'll keep an eye out for that. But I don't even know if we're comparing it to Risk of Rain is even a good idea. But it's a run-based roguelite now where you're trying to put together a build that kills zombies good, and that perk is really going to help us out. What am I doing inside the facility right now? Well, I'm inside the parking structure, and I'm trying to get the power back online so that we can open up a couple of different doors. I'm actually just going to pop my ability to super reload right here. And hopefully that there's a zombie stuck on the wall right there. There's also a speedy zombie right there trying to take a chunk out of me. We'll go ahead and give him the old slip and dip. He's now down. Every single time I kill an enemy, we're going to get a couple of different things. Some of it is currency, so those are credits that can be spent inside the facility in order to buy new weapons and equipment and grenades and med kits and stuff like that. Healing is really, really limited in this new build of the game, so you may want to hold on to some extra cash just in the off chance you need to buy a med kit. I don't know where I'm going to get the code to that door, in all honesty. I don't see anything that looks like a number around that's going to make that work. Maybe I'll trundle around for a second, though, and see if I can find the number written somewhere. I vaguely remember this from the old version of the game, but I'm having trouble piecing together exactly how I get that gate open. It's just been too long since the last time that I partook I don't see anything that looks like it unlocks a gate, so I guess we'll just carry on. Open up this door right here, and let's go ahead and put some lead in some zombies, as we love to do in the gaming community. Zombies, just the enemy that keeps on giving and giving and giving inside the context of video games. But I'm working my way through a parking structure to get to a deeper part of the research facility where more data is going to be stored. You are able to loot little nodes from around the map, but I think the first thing that's going to jump out at just about anybody as they play this game, I don't know if I want the stun grenade. I've got a free one right over here. That's a shop right here. As you get those credits, you can spend money at these collapsed little vendors or whatever they are. I thought I unlocked the ability to reroll shops, but I guess I must have sidelined it in order to get other upgrades. As we're killing enemies, you're going to see money drop. You're also going to see blue rectangles dropping. Those are called data nugs. The data nugs are what you use in between runs to make your character stronger. Thus far, I've been fairly impressed by the amount of things that you can upgrade. You can upgrade everything from your magazine capacity to your HP to your fear meter, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You can upgrade the amount of weapons you can carry. There's lots of little things up in there, but there's also other ways, run style, that you'll be able to upgrade your character for just this run. You've got body modification tickets and you've got weapon modification tickets. So the body modification tickets, you're going to bring those over to the body modifier, and these are how we genetically modify our character to be stronger just for this run. So I could give myself more HP at the cost of fear. I can give myself more critical chance at the cost of max HP. Probably take the critical chance. How many more of these do I have? HP, regen, recovery rate. I'll probably go for critical damage since we already took the crit stack. Special skill cooldown is nice with no side effects. I'll definitely take that. And then we get to customize our gun. Now, I haven't found the blueprint to customize the minigun just yet, so we can't customize that as of right now. So I apologize. Forewarning for you here at the beginning of the video, we're not going to be using the minigun very much because I don't have the methods to upgrade it so that it can keep pace with the game getting more difficult, but I have unlocked the blueprints for the assault rifle, and so using weapon permits, we can get randomized perks that get attached to our gun, and we get to pick between them. And so we can say shots automatically track your last target for 3 seconds, we can get faster reloads. Successful shots have a 12% chance to create a level 2 electrical shock. Probably do that one right there. We can also re-roll them for money if we want to. I can get plus 10 to my clip size. I can also get 25% chance to have our bullets pierce through targets. So that's pretty cool. More damage to enemies that are further away. I don't have any like reasonable way of measuring distance right now, and so I don't know how good that's gonna be. Let's go with penetrating shots right here. I haven't actually got to play around with weapon modding very much because I just unlocked it in the context of the demo. The demo seems to be sort of slower and plodding. What I mean by that is not necessarily that the pacing is off or that the game feels bad to play. Instead, it just kind of unfolds mechanics run by run. So your first run, they're introducing you to data nuggets and the upgrade system. Like your second run, they're kind of showing you the body modification system. On your third run, they're unlocking something else. On your fourth run, you get weapon modding. So I've been putting a couple hours into this game prior to playing it, and I also put a couple hours into the Blackout Protocol version of the game for a couple hours just to make the whole thing work. But what I found to be really striking about this game is kind of how good the game design is, dude. For this upgrade right here, I'll probably take 20% more credits, I guess. I don't know if we're going to have use for the money during the course of this run, but I'll give it a try. But as I was saying, the production values of this game, very, very good for an indie company. This game is being made by a team in Korea, I think, and you can tell from like the little touches, just the way the gunplay feels, for example, or the character design, or the lighting design, or the way, for example, we just activated a terminal over there, and that terminal made like a glass enclosure close around this entire area where we're fighting with the enemy. It's very, very easy to tell that whoever made this game really, really went all in on the map design portion of it and made the place really feel not inviting, but foreboding and like good compared to a lot of the other games out there that are trying to do this sort of twin stick gameplay. They've also got really decent enemy variety inside of here. There's enemies that throw grenades, there's enemies with guns, there's enemies with multiple armor meters that take forever to shoot down, there's zombies, there's eldritch monsters, there's enemies that react to the environments in different ways, which I found to kind of be interesting. Like light and fear play an important part in this game. Oh my god, we got so many zombies around here, dude. Okay, I gotta go special ability mode. We're gonna go down if I don't. Give me a fast reload and also give me my doppelganger. Oof, dude, we took a scuffing right here, dude. This little area is just so difficult to fight in, but we're on the final wave. Let me see if I can hold it together by maybe limiting my observations for a second, since I've gotten questions about this. Some people think that I, like, post-record my gameplay vocals. I do not. I'm actually playing the game right now while I'm recording this video. I might do a couple practice runs beforehand, but all commentary on my channel is live, except for those little moments at the end of a video where I put my thoughts together, because I've just found that I'm not very graceful with words while I'm trying to do a final synopsis in the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna need a quick reload, and then we'll kill off a couple of these guys right here. Ooh, that guy's got multiple armor meter, huh? Feels ripperoonies. Do all of them have multiple armor meter, or is it just that one over there? Sometimes they have like random little Diablo-style mods on them, I think, where they're just a little bit tougher than their compatriots. Okay, third wave is down. Now we can go back to it, but the lighting, the environmental design, the map design, the character design, the gun feel, everything about this game feels really nice by comparison to a lot of the other twin-stick shooters out there. So it's very clear the development team knows what they're doing and has a background in doing this kind of stuff. We go off to a door to the left. This is a challenge room right here. I don't know what they're going to put on offer in the challenge room. And it looks like we can spend money at a store, I guess. I'll take that, sure. Let's spend money at a store, but we're gonna have to make it through here. There's gonna be some eldritch horrors to worry about. These little guys right here, you can't attack them, you can't hurt them, but they are a nuisance. So I call these things ankle biters, and they're afraid of light. So you see the flashlight on the end of my gun? These things are afraid of light, so you kind of want to drive them back with a flashlight, but if they're ever in the shadow, they do kind of the boo thing from Mario Brothers, where they try to close the gap with you, and if they can close the gap and get close enough, they'll bite you a little bit, and it kind of sucks. What do we have here? $1,000 for a nether cube? I'll take it. Whenever you take damage, gain a damage boost. Upon being downed, you can use the interact key to self-revive. Your special gains 30% potency when you use it in the dark. Well, the facility is mostly in the dark, so I'll go ahead and take that. When we're in the dark, you see that little purple meter right there? That little purple meter right there is our fear meter. And what the fear meter does is the fear meter, if it gets up to maximum by you being in the dark for too long, you take double damage, you reload slower, the screen zooms in, there's like a heartbeat sound, you start to get swimming tunnel vision. It basically represents a panic attack that your agent is having. This was important in the context of Blackout Protocol, because if you had a character or a member of the party that was panicking, everybody else really had to pick up his slack and cover for him. It was a problem. In this game, there was a balance to that as well, though, in Blackout Protocol, where you could make the enemies panic as well. Just like there was things that made you afraid, there was things that made the enemies afraid and would cause them to panic and take double damage and have reduced accuracy and all that kind of stuff. Oh my god, almost got nailed with a bullet. This time around, it only affects you. And so as you're moving through the facility, you kind of want to keep an eye out for light spots like this one right here. It refills your fear meters so that you don't feel afraid anymore going down on in, because having a panic attack at the wrong moment can be absolutely catastrophic in this title. From there, I think you can be lit on fire. There's general status effects that the enemy can put on you. What do we have down? Oh, that's right. We got to lower this other glass barrier right here. You know whatever's inside of this thing is super bad when they got like the 8-inch Shamu grade glass, dude. That's how you know you've got like a villain inside that containment. One of those killer whales that's like drowned like 40 people or something, bro. Oh my god, there's so many. Okay, yeah, we're gonna probably want to back up ever so slightly. Just keep firing at the enemy a little bit, though. You gotta watch out for the lunge on some of the lady zombies. Oh no, dude, the little purpley-wurpley dudes are over. We caught another bullet right there, too. Luckily, the bullets don't hurt that bad compared to zombie bites. We can also get the zombies because they're kind of dumb. We can get them. Oh, big dog. Okay, let's not do that then. Let me pop my special just for some extra DPS. Man, there's little purple guys everywhere. I don't know if he can shoot the explosive canister like I can shoot the explosive canister, but that would be really, really bad. It looks like we survived the wave, but we still got that big dude to deal with over there. So I'm going to pull back ever so slightly and try to keep these little purple guys off of me. Blow him up. Is he dead? All right, he's dead. Where's the purple guy at? Give me my special ability, because this guy's got a chin on him, and we're going to need double damage to take him down effectively. There we go. Big guy has been hunted down. Keep on firing. But everything so far feels really fluid and nice. Oh, he dropped an item. Nice. If I wait for the purple fart gas to go away, there should be a weapon blueprint inside that crate, which adds a new weapon to our repertoire that we can upgrade and whatnot. Assault Rifle Attachment 3. Oh, it's another suite of extra upgrades that can roll when we upgrade our assault rifle. Good. I accidentally closed the menu, so I didn't get a chance to read it all the way through. Apparently using the scroll on my center mouse button closes that menu. It counts as a button press. And it did say press anything to close, so we'll have to check those out a little bit later. But as you go through the game, there is a lot more meta progression this time around. This game is kind of like a farmer's dream, because these data nuggets can be applied to all kinds of stuff, and then from there you're unlocking new things that can come up in the rotation of your randomized upgrades for your weapons as you go through. It does have a nice flavor to it, and I think it's really carried by the fact that it's just well-designed gameplay in the first place. And we've got an assault rifle over here. We've got a med kit. I'm going to take the med kit because we're a little bit scuffed up right now, and the med kit may be the only thing that gets us a little bit further on into the facility. We found another safe spot, though, so let's go into the safe room. You can definitely tell from the feel of the game that it used to be a team-based Left 4 Dead style game with these little safe rooms every X amount of time or whatever. We do have a couple of upgrade permits for our weapon, but I think I need 5 in order to get the next upgrade. I haven't seen the electrical shock at all while we've been firing. Have you guys seen the electrical shock? Maybe the graphic isn't super obvious. I'll have to take a better look this time around while we're firing at enemies and see what it brings to the table, because I haven't gotten the impression that I'm electro-shocking anybody just yet. I don't know, it hasn't looked like it, at least not to me.
I'm not seeing
Next
a
part of
way
the
through this
facility.
area in the
They're changing it over into a narrative-based
Scanning
game as
info
well. I don't know if that's an
emails.
AI voice actor or a human being
Aha.
pretending to be an
It looks
AI,
like there's an
but either
emergency
way, there's like
VIP
dialogue,
corridor
there's
in one of the
talking, there's only a
offices
light
nearby.
bit of it for right now, but given the fact that they specifically went out of their way to call out the fact that this is going to be, oh my god, they've got, oh, there's an electroshock right there. Maybe it slows them down or something like that, but they went out of their way to mention that the game is going to take on a new narrative focus, and there has been a bit of voice acting and talking and chatting or whatever. I don't know if it's being done by placeholders at the moment, or if it's being done by real actors and actresses as of right now. I can't speak to that. I haven't really been paying attention to it super well.
Theoretically, its
Alright, so
owner
we opened up a
could still be
containment barrier.
shambling around
We've got to
somewhere
find
nearby.
a severed hand so that we can use it on that thumbprint scanner over there in order to advance to the next part of the dungeon. Let's carry on to the northeast, and these guys, I don't know why they all have little squiddy boy things on their heads. I'm a little bit vexed. I don't know if those are like party favors or if the squiddy things on their heads are controlling them. Are they hats? Is it a fashion statement? Is it some kind of parasite? Who knows? I can't really tell, but what is happening right now, what I can tell is we are stacking some serious ducats and making some serious fed change. That guy is gonna throw a grenade at me, which is always kind of a hassle. Give me my double bullets right here. I need the specials to die like, oh my god, they're behind me too. Good news is our dodge gives us iframes. So if we dodge at the right moment, I was puckering and holding my breath right there because I wasn't sure if I was going to get blown up. But if we time our dodge right, even though we're inside the radius of the grenade, we should still get away with not getting hurt. But those grenades, I would say, are probably the fundamental way that I take damage on any given playthrough. So far, there's not a lot of branching paths or anything else like that. I do think that's going to have to be a significant area of improvement if they're going to convert this over into being a fully replayable single-player title. With storyline as the focus, the maps are going to have to randomize, move around, and have a lot more optional stuff than they used to have. I can't give too many suggestions there, but there are plenty of other twin-stick roguelite shooters out there to draw from, but there may be a lot of set-piece reconfiguring and whatnot that they have to do in order to, like, the set pieces that you have to create for a multiplayer game, I don't think need to be quite as sophisticated as the set pieces for a single-player game, or at least not quite as randomized for a single-player game, because with any multiplayer experience like you had in Blackout Protocol, other players are providing a lot of the entertainment too. So it doesn't really matter that the maps weren't crazy modified run to run in the last playthrough. They were different enough because a big attribute of the game is just you looking at the builds that your teammate has and the playstyle that they have and trying to build around it. And so that's the sort of emergent gameplay that occurs that keeps the game fresh. And now with that emergent half gone, you're gonna have to make the maps like super compelling and interesting to play through over and over and over again on their own, which I do actually think is gonna be a significant challenge. Oh, there's a big dog over there, huh? All right, let's fall back for a second. Special ability, and we'll put some bullets on him. There we go, big dog's down. I'm gonna search this locker real fast for loot too. Another weapon permit, and we've got 2 body mod permits, so that's really, really good. Shoot those down real fast. But as I was saying, the map is going to need to change significantly more than it currently does if this is going to fly as a single-player game, simply due to the fact that people playing in single-player, they have a lot more time, they have all the time in the world to wander through the map, look around, get accustomed to it, get normalized with it, and then get bored with it. Because it doesn't have that multiplayer component to keep things interesting and sort of randomized on some level. And so they may end up having to build a lot more set pieces in order to make this game fly as a single-player experience. But we'll see what they do, because as of right now, all we really have is this first proof of concept pivot demo, which does play well. I mean, it feels equally as good as Blackout Protocol did to play. It's really kind of a shame that the multiplayer version of the game didn't sell very well, or I guess didn't do well enough to justify holding on to the original idea. And I've kind of got like 2 minds about that, because I've been in a position before where I had to pivot or I was going to go out of business. And like, you've got to make this tough decision where, like, verified, everybody's going to hate your guts for a little while. And you've got to decide whether or not it's worth it, you know, but you've also got to make the after result worth it as well and prove that what you were promising is true. And so hopefully they can get that done. The pivot is kind of a scary thing for all of the people that previously owned the game, because they signed up for a multiplayer game, and now what they have is, how do I get in there? I want that, yeah, I want that little piece of loot. Don't go in that room. Get out of here. This is my room. Go. Go away. I'm flashlighting you. I'm trying to buy my upgrades right now, and you're making it difficult. Tactical gear gives you 20% more damage. The less ammo you have in your clip, the more physical damage you deal with ranged weapons. Yeah, I'll probably take that one. Let's go with that one right there so that we're constantly ticking up damage as we attack. And so, like, I'm of 2 minds about it. Like, on one level, I empathize with the developers because I've had to pivot before due to not being successful, and it just happened to work out. On the other hand, I also feel bad for Blackout Protocol's audience because they bought into a multiplayer, sort of roguelitified Left 4 Dead experience with a top-down twin-stick mechanic that was pretty addictive and pretty fun when it came out, and now they're having that reduced down to a single-player game, which does kind of have those aspects of, like, some people are saying it's a bait-and-switch. I don't think it's a bait-and-switch. I think it's a desperation play to keep the game in the studio alive, but at the end of the day, I can understand that somebody feels frustrated, and so on a certain level, I kind of feel like they should probably issue refunds to anybody that liked the old version of the game. However, they have said that the multiplayer is coming back to this version of the game, which then, like, muddies it down even further, and so, like, if they get the multiplayer back in after the single player thing is all done, like, the multiplayer is disabled for this demo right here, which some people, including myself, took to mean that it was no longer going to be a multiplayer game, but then the developers posted on the Steam forums saying that multiplayer is just disabled for now while they get the single player all tooled up, and then co-op is going to be coming back later. I don't know with what kind of lobbying or matchmaking or anything else it might have. And so the situation is complex, as you can guess. There's a lot of, like, signals being sent out and being interpreted on the Steam forums that the developers have been continuously sort of, like, clarifying. This guy right here is ethereal. I can't hurt him unless I have an ethereal grenade, and wouldn't you know it, I don't have an ethereal grenade. So this guy is just gonna chase me and be a headache until I find one, or until I get us to the next area of the zone, because I don't think I can harm him at all until I have a grenade that harms ethereal enemies, which I don't have for right now. So, like, oh no, I do have one right now. Will the stun grenade do it? Hold on. I hit the wrong button. Let's throw that out to there. I missed. It's very, very difficult to judge grenades in this game. All right, there we go. Throw that to there. Oh, I guess it doesn't work like that anymore. So in Blackout Protocol, if you dinked these guys with a stun grenade, they became corporeal, and then you could shoot them in the face repeatedly until they die. It looks like they are just a hazard now, and I've just got to learn to deal with that. Took a little bit of damage right there. Let's keep him run off on the backside. As long as he's around, I need to keep him in the dark.
Oh,
There's our
how
severed
gruesome.
hand. It's a little grisly,
You
but
should be
it will
able
get
to
us
use
through to
that
the next
to
area of
access
the
the
map.
terminal you found
Back
earlier.
up, dude. This guy is just crowding all up in my business right now, dude. There's so many of you, too. I gotta, like, run them off through a building here and maybe, like, lose them. I'm gonna take some damage from the ankle biters, though, because there are a lot of them in here. We can get a rubber chicken melee weapon. Squeak-oo. Who doesn't love beating the enemy with a rubber chicken? That's just all-around good, solid physical comedy. Let's turn this thing in, and then we'll be able to go to the next floor. I've got enough weapon permits right now that I can get the third mod for my gun, which has me really, really excited. That's going to open up a secret door right here. I love how there's, like, no way to see that. You don't really notice it, but it's there until you activate this, and then there's a secret bunker underneath. Just a great job with the current map design. All right, let's see what kind of goodies we can pick up. A supply crate, huh? What's in the supply crate? A med kit. Alright, let me use the body modifier. We can get higher max fear, and it doesn't cost us anything. I'll take it. We can also get max HP, but it'll make our gun less accurate. Weapon charge time. I don't think that's going to matter, because weapon charge time, there's a lot of guns in this game. At least in Blackout Protocol, there's a lot of different guns. There's like 10 or 11 different guns. Everything from sniper rifles to Eldritch plasma launchers to normal assault rifles to revolvers. You name it, it's all inside of the game. Most of those guns didn't make the jump to this demo from what I've seen so far, or at least I haven't picked up a lot of them yet in the 3 or 4 hours that I've played. I've seen a pump shotgun, I've seen a minigun, I've seen an assault rifle, I've seen a sawed-off shotgun, I think I saw a revolver at one point, but you've got to like find them in run first, and then they get unlocked for other runs, I think. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I will take... I guess that's going to hurt my cooldowns, but I guess I'll take more critical damage. Let's get our third weapon purchase slot, and so we can get faster reload speed, and we can fire additional projectiles. Does my doppelganger fire an additional projectile as well? I mean, we have to do it for science. We have to. We have no choice. You can't carry medkits along with you. I think in Blackout Protocol you could, but in Section 13 you pick them up and use them like right this second. I'm guessing to maintain the tension of being like down bad on HP and trying to survive with everything you had. But so far, I think the gameplay is still just as solid as it was inside Blackout Protocol. I think the pivot to single player is going to irk a lot of their audience that were here for the multiplayer tactical stuff, but from what the developers have said, that's not going anywhere. It's just out of the demo for right now so that they can get it re-implemented along the lines of the new gameplay that the single player experience is offering you. And so a bit of a strange pivot here, but I do think that the game is still fun. I think the game is still enjoyable, and having it unhooked from having to find a lobby with multiple people just due to the fact, yeah, we got like multi-bullet right there. What's this guy gonna do? Let's maybe like whittle some HP off of him with a special. Try not to get hit in the head with flying rocks. Oh, he's gonna shoot at me. Okay, let's get back here. Doesn't look like we get special damage or anything off on him from behind. And I think, honestly, what really carries here is just that the gameplay feels equally as good as it used to feel, just converted into a single-player game. I think the new weapon modding system is interesting. The randomization on it gives interesting options. There are fun perks to play around with here, like firing double bullets and curving bullets and heat bullets and things of that nature that make the engagements feel a little bit more interesting to make up for the fact that you no longer have a large team of mates with you every single time you go through the game. There are multiple characters to play. I do think they're going to have to add some more abilities to each character in order to make them long-term compelling. Having one ability that you pop is very much kind of like a team-based shooter thing. Like, you have your one ability that helps the team in the right moment and saves them from the clutches of failure. Having one ability, I think, for a single-player game is going to be a little bit too little. So I would recommend thinking about diversifying the characters a little bit further as well, and maybe giving them 2 or 3 abilities, Right now, I think there's 4 or 5 characters just like there was in the original game. You've got like a scientist, you've got like a researcher, you've got one girl that's kind of like the scout from TF2. That's who I've been playing all day. There's a big buff guy that's kind of like the consummate soldier, and his ability knocks everybody back with an AoE explosion, that kind of stuff. But let me see if I can finish off this boss here, and then I'll show you the metagame progression so that you know what you're walking on into. But yeah, as a good faith measure by the developers, I would recommend offering... Oh no. Okay, you can fall off the platform. I would recommend maybe offering limited run refunds for a little bit for anybody that's like upset about the pivot. Just to smooth that on over and make sure there's like no hard feelings. Hey, we got him. Very, very nice. I don't know if I've ever actually made it past this guy. Normally my DPS isn't exactly where it needs to be, but we've got like rock solid DPS right now. So let's get out of the isolation chamber. Definitely a little bit of a fight right there. I don't know if anything's going to become... Oh, there's more zombies. There's zombies in the safe room? Looks like they dropped something. What is that? A cell sample? A tissue sample collected from the Nephilim can be used at mission start to access nearby timelines with a greater challenge level, but also greater rewards. Well, that sounds pretty fun. Let me go ahead and throw this run, and I'll show you the metagame progression before we cut out for the day. Oh, never mind. We made it to the end of the demo build. That's the final door right there. All right, well, let's go back and let's see what the metagame progression looks like so that you guys can figure out whether or not the single-player version of this game is something that you're going to enjoy. We've got a couple minutes left. We're running a little bit long, but not horrifically long. So let's have a look. Inside the base, it looks like there's going to be a number of things that you can interact with. I'm guessing this is like the alternate timeline thing or something like that I have no idea what that's going to do. The main money thing, though, for right now is that there's different rooms with each character you can play inside of them. My assumption is that they're going to have Hades-style dialogue as you all discuss things in between runs and play as one another. Maybe each one of them will have like their own thing going on. I've got these employee tickets right here. I don't know what they do. There's nothing here that uses those just yet. And so it looks like there's another progression mechanic that's not inside the demo as of right now. But here is the things that you can upgrade inside this limited demo. You can start out with more money. You can get more XP off of enemies when you kill them, the data nugs. You can get more HP. You can get more options to re-roll. You can warm up, which allows you to bring in more gear with you when you start the game out. You can make your fear meter longer, which is a really good idea considering the fact that just about every body mod makes your fear meter go down. You can get a fanny pack that lets you carry multi-grenade. You can have tactical fortification, which is just flat damage that you're getting on your run. Danger detection over here. So this is for co-op. So obviously the co-op is still going to stay in there because if you get downed in single player, the game is over. You can get defense. It looks like you can reduce the cost of re-rolling your enhancements by a significant amount. You can make it so that you get auto revives whenever you're downed, that kind of stuff. There's also an area where you can test out all the weapons that you're finding inside the game and play around with them in a live fire environment over here. And so, you know, the pivot is what the pivot is. I enjoyed this version. I also really, really enjoyed the last version. And so I'm in a spot where I'm just sort of tentatively waiting to see what happens here. I'm apprehensive, but the gameplay feels exactly as good as it did when the game was called Blackout Protocol, so maybe they'll pull it off. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with Section 13. Tomorrow will be something else. That's all I got for you. Take care, and goodbye, folks.